Hello and welcome to your week 4 VCT 2025 kickoff recap. We go straight into it with some patch notes. Patch 10.02, 10.2, 10.2, I don't know what you want to call it. Regardless, we have bug fixes. That is the main story of this. Nothing big, nothing small. Bug fixes with regen shields. It was leaving you at 1 HP when you should have died with certain types of damage. That's been fixed. Agent fixes. Vise in particular, she had her abilities. They were able to be seen on water surfaces. That's been fixed. You cannot see them on water surfaces now. Teho, apparently players who are running through Armageddon and able to live through it, they were just running through it and not dying. That's been fixed. They will die. Killjoy fixed the recall on that. It won't go invisible. It won't get stuck. And the alarm bot is a lot smarter now. It's going to path better instead of running very long paths to get to enemies on ledges and things like that. It's just a bit better, a bit smarter. As well as gameplay system fixes with observers. Observers will now have a more consistent and better time with player team outline colors. So that's that. We go into VCT 2025 season capsules now. This was talked about earlier in the presentations, earlier in the season, earlier in the year. They have finally released it, and it's now regarding regions. You can now rep your region. If you don't want to rep a team, you can rep your region. It comes with a new knife, player cards, and gun buddies. The new knife, the karambit, comes in 5 different colors: orange for Americas, blue green for Pacific, green purple for EMEA, red for China, and a silver base if you just want to rock the silver base. As well as it comes with a champions aura, something you probably won't be able to experience ever because you never top frag. Anyways, you're paying for 5 knives for the price of 1, which is a pretty good steal if paying $60 for 1 knife is a good steal for you. Anyways, we go to our games for the week, and my god, these games are crazy. Well, maybe not this first one. This first one against Sen versus G2 feels absolutely lopsided. It is no contest. We go to Abyss G2's pick, and from there they just hammer Sen. They go up 10-2, 2-10 by the halftime, and from there to just keep the lead there, going 7-13 by the end of it. It does not feel close at all. Same story on Pearl. It feels a little closer though. Sen's pick, it goes 5-7 halftime with G2 up, and it just keeps Sen at bay, going 7-13 by the end of it for G2. G2 winning again 0-2 against Sen. It did not feel like competition to them though. It felt super easy. At one point they were even pulling Pokemon cards between matches. They just had no regard for Sen. They felt there was no competition there. They felt like it was very disappointed to see Sen perform in the way that it did. With this win though, G2 now guaranteed their spots into Bangkok and guaranteed their spots in the top 2, earning those champion points in the top 2. We then go to losers bracket, MIBR versus Crew. From there we have totally different story, totally different game, and of course a great match to watch. We go to bind first Crew's pick, and it ends up being a 6-6 tie. To begin with, Crew obviously haven't looked really solid throughout all of losers. A surprise really to many people. The same case with MIBR, but really, I mean, they're showing this again here, going and winning the map 8-13 here. We then go to Abyss, MIBR's pick, and a different story there. Obviously, when you pick your map, you gotta win on your map, and boy howdy do they win on their map. It goes 8-4 up by the half. MIBR are up, and then they close out pretty handedly, going 13-8 by the end of it, winning that map and taking this to a final map 3 of Split. MIBR on attack first, and again, it feels like a very similar story to last map somehow, going 4-8 up for MIBR, and then MIBR keeping ahead, keeping things close. Crew do, but it's just not enough. It's 13-11 by the end of it. MIBR, take it away. Being out Crew, guarantee spot in top 3. And can we just take a moment to talk about Aspas? Because my god, is it crazy what this team is doing, what he's doing on this team. I mean, to begin with, yes, it didn't look pretty. He went 30, 29, 5, +1 differential. But from there, he started cooking. From there, against C9, he went 57, 40, and 10, +17 differential. Against EG, he went 38, 22, 7, +16. Against Lev, he went 51, 40, 5, 9. And then against Crew, this time around, he went 82, 36, and 7, +46. These are ridiculous numbers, And we haven't even really began the season. He took this team, a team that was 1-9 last year, only won 1 game, to now winning 4 out of their 6 games. They have a better record this time around than most teams. They're in the top 3 of competition in Americas. It is just ridiculous what has happened to MIBR. So exciting to see that for them. We'll just have to see what happens in stage 1, but my god, it's crazy. Anyways, we go to Sen versus MIBR. Speaking of MIBR, I'm speaking of Sen, and from there, man, do we have a series. Our journey begins on Pearl, Sen's pick, and from there, look dire for MIBR. 9-3 by the half. Sen are up, but MIBR showing the resilience. Again, we talked about the stats from Aspas, and they do not miss here. They keep going. They do everything in their power. They are here to fight, and slowly but surely, rounds go MIBR's way. They go from 9-3, 9-4, 5, 6, 7. Sen trying to hold them off, managing to get 1 round, but MIBR just cooking with gas. 10-7, 10-8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are on match point. Sen stopping it finally, going 12-12 by the full time in OT. My god, OT. It goes insane. Back and forth. Round 25, round 26, round 27, round 28. Clutch after clutch. 31, 32. We finally get a breakthrough moment. Sen look like they are poised to win it all. They finally win on attack. Then MIBR takes it back. They win on attack. They bring it to around 35, 36 until finally we get the result that we want.
They're so close. Wyatt, they're so close. Narrator with something to say. Zekin's found one and we're down to a 3-piece each. But there's Artazine. Crucially, Zekin gets another. Spike. No plan of that yet. And Shenum, he is on in. It's on. It's finally done. MIBR.
19-21, 40 rounds, a new VCT America's record for longest match. And from there, MIBR take the map. And my god, if the rest of this series looks exactly like this, I mean, this series is gonna go the distance. It is gonna be incredible how far this what's that? Oh, they lost pretty handedly on the next map? Really? It wasn't even close? Oh, okay. What's that again? That's actually the end. They lost the first 2 maps. Pearl was the 3rd. They were smoked on all of the maps except for the 3rd one. Really? Okay, I guess Sen made it look very easy until that point. MIBR, obviously everything we talked about. So much potential. Aspas, again, being such a fundamental foundation to this team. But I guess it's not their time. MIBR end up in 3rd. Sen managed to close it out. But great moments from this match. And again, that great Pearl map. That is something to watch if you were to watch anything from Kickoff. It is just a moment, and truly a moment to watch. We then go to the rematch game. We go to upper finals. We go to finals in general. G2 versus Sentinels again. All right, but before we do that, let's just quickly move that guy over there. Over here. Okay. All right. So that's what America's one looks like. That's China. That's EMEA, and that's Pacific. Low-key Pacific, I think that has to be S. I mean, that just looks insane, no? EMEA, I like the logo on it. I think that's pretty good. China's is alright. America's just looks like a freaking stool. It looks like a freaking toilet that you could take a dump in. So I'm gonna have to do it like this. I think, yeah, that looks right. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's get back to split first. G2's pick. And from there, Sen go hog wild. They go 3-9 up in the half. They've actually been going 3-9 for a past, I think, 4 or 5 maps now against MIBR. Continuing from MIBR, crazy stuff, and he managed to just absolutely keep the hold on G2, going 4-13 by the end of it. Sen looking so good. And in trouble for G2. That is until Pearl sends pick. It is a 6-6 tie, but G2 end up managing to beat it out. I mean, we saw what happened on last time with Pearl against MIBR. I don't think Pearl is Sen's pick at all, as they lose 13-8 to G2. G2 take one back. Map 3 now on Abyss. G2's pick. G2 again smoked Sen on this map, but today is not yesterday, as we go 5-7 up in half. G2 Sen making it a lot closer than it was last time, and then Sen managing to go absolutely wild, going 9-13 to get the win. Really making this a series and a half to watch, and going to map point rather, as we move on to Fracture, Sen's pick. And somehow it goes horribly wrong for Sen, as it goes 8-4 by the half for G2, and then 13-5 for G2 again. So then we go to map Point of Haven. G2 defend first, and we have a whole different story. We started with Sen going 3-9. We start with G2 going 9-3. But of course, Sen are not the ones to be counted out. They are the comeback kings, as we have said, and they do everything in their power to get things as close. But at the end of the day, there's only one winner and one loser.
Sticking. They're going to push it back. The Hunter's Fury is delayed.
It's delayed. Jorgamo!
He's into back lines! Jorgamo! He's tearing him a new one. And now Sentinels left to do it, just 3 left standing. A player disadvantage. Here's the retake coming through. The blinds are good, but the kills need to be better. And G2 will not be denied. It's a death knell tolls. And for Sentinels themselves, it all lands on their shoulders, a bang. One to be fine, but 2 more left standing. G2. They've been tested, they've been pushed, but a util just makes it almost impossible. TP forwards, 11 HP to his name. Jubilation for G2.
13-10 is the final score. G2 finally win their first trophy. They are the first Ascension team to win a trophy, and just all of their hard work, all of their close chances. They were in tournament positions to win 3 times, I believe, and they've finally gotten the victory they were looking for. And you know, just fair play to them, and you know, great news for them. Here's the final bracket. G2 before this series, they were 6-0, absolutely crushed it. Crazy business. G2 earned a full amount of championship points. I think it's 3 or 4. Sen win second most amount. I think that's 3 or 2. I don't know. I know MIBR and Crew managed to get both 1 though in this. We have group draw for stage 1. Alpha and Omega, they have been determined. Sen, Crew, Loud, EG, 100 Thieves, and 2G are in Alpha. Meanwhile, in Omega, G2, MIBR, Lev, NRG, Furia, and C9 all sit in Omega. We go to international news. All give or take a few days, we now know who has qualified for Bangkok. Of course, we know it was Sen and G2 for Americas, and of course, we figured out long ago it was Trace and Edward Gaiman for China. But now we know it is T1 and DRX for Pacific, and we know it's Team Liquid and Vitality for EMEA. What? You're telling me Gen G didn't make it? Gen G, Heretics, and TRX didn't make it to Masters? What? What kind of Looney Tunes ass bullshit? The stage has been determined. The bracket, the matches have been determined. It will be G2 versus Trace, EDG versus Team Liquid, Vitality versus T1, and DRX versus Sen. This all begins on the 18th of February, just in a week or 2. So until then, thank you for watching, and we will see you at Masters Bangkok.